Hey guys, it's Pollo Loco here with a second video of my Motivation Monday series for all my salsa and bachata dancer friends. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about dance levels. I got some really good advice a long time ago from a world champ, Oliver Pineda, and he said beginners should be taking intermediate classes, intermediate dancers should be taking advanced classes, advanced dancers should be working on their basics, right? Now that seems counterintuitive because if you are, the whole point of having a progressive system is so that you don't like you work your way up because you don't want to have a crappy foundation because then your dancing will suffer, right? So why would somebody say that? Well, the fact is that most dancers in the Latin community, salsa, bachata, will primarily learn through group classes, and that's about it. I know, I would say somewhere in the 90s. I'm guessing on this, but I'm pretty sure it's in the not even just lower 90s, but in the upper 90s percent of all the dancers that dance salsa and bachata who have been dancing for years have can count on one hand how many private lessons they've taken. And if that applies to you, then you're going to have some foundational gaps. Why? Because it doesn't matter how fast you learn, how great of a dancer you are, how great your instructor is. When you learn in a group class environment, they are catering to everyone. They're not catering to just you. And there are so many things that apply to the basics that you could sign up for a 20-week boot camp and do basics all program long, and there's still going to be things for you to work on. So if you're not investing in private lessons, first of all, that's going to be a hindrance to you. If you feel like you're the type of dancer who wants to be the cream of the crop, if you want to be the type of dancer who puts on great shows, who uh, you just have to, you're that competitive dancer that just has to be better than everyone around them, then push yourself. And if you're not, and you're doing it for fun, then I would recommend at least trying it so you can see, because a lot of times people don't know the value of taking a private lesson, and it's a tremendous amount. Most people won't want to pay that amount, especially if they're just working on basics. But that's what I did. I took two private lessons with Oliver Pineda, and I worked on basics. And I can tell you, those are when you take lessons with a world champion, those are going to be the most expensive lessons that you've ever taken. And to spend an hour or 2 hours working on just basics seems like a horrible waste of money. But I can tell you now that every time that I've worked with different dancers from around the world on just basics, it always revamps how I look at dancing, how I interpret dancing, how I teach my students, and I get much more out of that than I will out of learning an advanced pattern, advanced footwork. And if you're the kind of person that just picks up something naturally, and so you're like, oh, why I was able to do that, and then why am I going to pay to have someone reteach me that? Well, if you're doing it naturally, there's a chance that you don't understand how it's being done. You're just doing it on autopilot. And if you don't know how it's being done, and you can't break it down or teach someone else, or you can, but they can't do it the way you can, then you don't have an understanding of how you're doing it. So be a little bit self-aware. Understand that it doesn't matter who you learn from or how good you are. Private lessons are an amazing uh, thing to have. So take advantage, find your instructors, seek them out, work on your basics. If you've been dancing for years and you're an advanced dancer and you don't know how to do what a turnout is, if you don't know how to keep your turnout while you're dancing, if you can't keep your timing, if you point your toes but your ankle goes out to the side, and you think just because you flex your foot that you know how to point your toes, um, then reconsider where you're going with your dancing and seek some guidance. There's a lot of amazing, talented instructors out there who are more than glad to help. So have a great night, and see you guys soon.